How did you feel when Peter said we're fired at the Trotsky's Hotel?
I was absolutely shattered. The only thing was that I'd had guidance that things were going to change, and they certainly did. We had a very bad winter. It was a very snowy winter, very cold, and we were living in that caravan, and that wasn't easy. What with the water, we had to bring quite a lot of water. From where? From the toilets, I think.
From the toilets, probably, because the pipes were frozen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We thought we'd be going back to Cluny Hill, remember?
That's right.
But and when we found out they opened without us, our guidance said stay there.
That's right.
So then we expanded and grew more vegetables because we needed food.
No, I thought, oh no, this is ridiculous. Here am I writing down thousands upon thousands of people will come to this place. Who in the world would want to come to this dump of a place anyway? And that's exactly what has happened. I mean, God's promises do come about. There's no question about it. Cutting seaweed off the rocks, and I cut my hand, and I just held it, and knew that it would heal somehow or other, and it did. It was most extraordinary.
Yes. And there was a cut in it, because I saw it first.
Yeah.
And then you closed your hand on it, and then when you opened it again, the cut had gone.
Yeah. So it really did happen.
Yes, it happened.
Yes. Glad I've got somebody to vouch for it.
Mm. We were both impressed.
Yes, we were, actually. Yes. About Peter. How did you feel about Peter?
Well, as you know, Peter and I clashed quite often.
Yes, I do know that.
Peter would rush to you and please get guidance.
Yes.
And usually you got guidance that we were to both be more loving or something like that.
Yes.
And we'd try.
You did try, yes, you did try.
But we had, in spite of that, because we were both committed to doing God's will, the work went on.
Well, it had to go on,
yeah,
didn't
I mean,
it, really?
Without that commitment from all of us, nothing would have happened at all.
No. No.
And that came before all our personality difficulties.
It wasn't an easy time at all.
No.
But it was a fascinating time when you stop and think about it now.
And I realize now that if other people are committed to God's will as we were, miracles can happen with them too.
Yes, they can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you can do it with us, you can do it with anybody.
Yes, I was going to say you can really.
Yeah. Well, he was a lovely elderly gentleman, very quiet. But you felt what he said was the truth, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he had these experiences, and he talked about them, as a matter of factly.
And we just accepted them.
We just accepted them.
Yes. And we were fascinated by his stories, too.
Yes. And it was a great help to me in the garden, because the nature spirits are more at hand with the produce of nature.
Yeah.
Whereas the angels are above polarity and don't get upset. But the nature spirits did, so it was a more warning. If we did something wrong, they would be upset.
Yeah.
And Ogilvy would let us know.
Yes, whether it was the gorse or whether it was the sweet peas or whatever it was, or the tomatoes, whatever. Yes, he always let us know.
If something the nature spirits didn't like, they would tell him, and he'd let us know. And I would know something was wrong, but I didn't know specifically what it was. So we worked together very closely. We felt the same thing about the garden. Well, when I first heard that vegetables had intelligence, I thought it was nonsense, as you may remember. I mean, how could a cabbage have intelligence? It hasn't got a brain. But when I realized that everything that came from that source had validity, and I listened and tried to tune in and made communication with the intelligence, I realized that I was speaking to the soul of a species, and that everything has a soul. We have individual souls, but the vegetables and the flowers and everything have group souls. And that what I was contacting was the soul level, from my own soul level. And that, of course, everything which is part of God has got life forms on all levels. and naturally intelligence on all levels.
Yes.
So, with accepting that,
So then then you were able to accept it all.
able to accept it and being encouraged to explore more dimensions of the angelic world.
Yes.
Until we got into the angels that Christians represent, the angels of qualities, like Raphael, the angel of healing, and all those things which every culture has communicated with, but under their own names, different names than the ones we gave it.
Yeah.
And it's just particularly appropriate nowadays because the planet is polluted, and we can get the help of nature itself, of the intelligence of nature, to help us in curing the pollution.
Yeah, that's true.
We've been given a way to do it that we didn't know before. And we're told that everything has intelligence that we can communicate with. And I think that's beginning to happen.
Yes.
Beginning to happen.
Thank God for that. What do you feel about all that has taken place over these years?
Well, it's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that God can use anybody who's committed to her, him.
Yes.
And that wonderful new ventures can be shown and expressed to help humanity through that commitment.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
It's amazing to look back. It's just amazing to look back. How do you feel about it?
All I hold in my consciousness is all is very, very